Good evening and welcome to Nationwide Today on the network service of the NTA. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with the presidency. President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration has so far kept faith with its promise of fighting corruption and will remain committed until Nigeria triumphs over the evil, attains a prosperous economic status and surmounts prevailing challenges of security. This was while receiving the support of the Ayo Salami Judiciary Commission of Inquiry that investigated the suspended acting chairman of the EFCC, Brian Magu, for alleged abuse of office and mismanagement of recovered assets. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The report submitted by the chairman of the Judicial Commission, Justice Ayo Salami, is a product of thorough scrutiny of 103 exhibits, oral testimonies of over 100 witnesses, as well as a nationwide fiscal verification of recovered forfeited assets. Justice Salami, who expressed the hope that the report will be found useful by government, described as appropriate and timely the recent presidential initiative to dispose all forfeited assets due to deteriorating condition.
Permit me to say that 4 successive chairmen of the EFCC from inception have been drawn from the police. Therefore, in appointing a new chairman of EFCC, consideration should be given to candidates from other law enforcement or security agencies and core staff of the EFCC as provided in the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Establishment Act 2004.
At the moment, he said 970 policemen are on secondment in the EFCC, and therefore an exit plan for their disengagement should be considered within 2 years from now towards addressing the issue of no promotion of the core EFCC staff for over 9 years.
Our thinking here is that whoever you are appointing, other than a core EFCC staff, should be in transitional capacity of 2 years, during which period arrangement could be made for appointment of any of the core EFCC staff who had proven themselves.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who thanked members of the commission for their dedication and commitment, promised to ensure that their findings and recommendations will be thoroughly studied for immediate implementation. This, the president said, will not only help in strengthening the fight against corruption, but also send the right signals to every Nigerian across the world that the government is resolved to ending the menace.
We recognize that there are more grounds to cover in the war against corruption, and we are prepared to go out to possess those lands by cutting off any stream that nourishes the seed of corruption and supports its growth. Let it be known that in the fight against corruption, no one is too big to tackle, as no individual is bigger than the Nigerian state.
The fight against corruption, President Buhari said, is one that must be fought without fear or favor if Nigeria is to realize her full potentials and achieve enduring peace and security.
Corruption is present in all countries. Some governments treat it with levity. Some fight it all the time. I want Nigeria to be counted among those countries who do not tolerate but fight corruption. I call on all stakeholders and indeed every Nigerian to own the fight against corruption at their respective levels.
The Ayo Salami Commission, which commenced sitting on the 6th of July, probed EFCC and its finances from 2015 to 2020, and its recommendations suggested, amongst others, administrative or judicial measures to be taken to recover misappropriated funds and assets. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammad Buhari has described the defection of Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State into the APC as not only a good omen for the governing party, but indeed a stabilizing factor to the nation's political landscape. The president stated this while formally receiving the governor at his official residence Thursday evening. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo tells us more.
Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State was accompanied to the State House by a delegation of the Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee of the APC, led by the chairman and governor of Yobe State, Mai Malabuni.
Well, you better get it correct.
This is coming less than 24 hours after Governor Umahi, who is the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, was formally welcomed into the APC family at a grand occasion in Abakaliki, attended by governors and other critical stakeholders of the party. He is here to formally affirm his allegiance, loyalty and support to President Muhammadu Buhari, leader of the governing party and indeed the federal government. Speaking to NTA News after their closed-door engagement that lasted 45 minutes, President Buhari described the evening as one of his best in the seat of government.
I admired his courage. I told him it's an environment that has been thoroughly combated to PDP. For him to come out and join us now is a great thing for the party. The party has been very lucky to have him. And it's stabilizing the national politics, for a governor from the southeast, to come back and join APC at this stage. Already you, the press, are speculating that he wants to be president. What's wrong with that?
For Governor Dave Umahi, with the tremendous benefits derived by Ebonyi State from the APC-led federal government, joining the party is the least he can do to show appreciation.
There is every reason for every person from Southeast to re-examine, my purpose of leaving the PDP, and know that the people of Southeast will have no place in PDP. If you come to my state, you will see quite a lot of development. And these developments were not done with the FAC allocation. They were done by special intervention of Mr. President. I can boldly say that under Mr. President, I have developed Ebonyi State. So if I've been at the periphery and I got all this development for my people, I said, look, we have to play at the center. And moreover, it is important that the people of Southeast should, for once, stop being in opposition.
Maybe some other zones are well placed and they can generate money locally. Our people have investment all over the country. Direct investment, not portfolio investment, direct investment. And we need to protect it. If Nigeria is strong, the Igbos will do better. The solidarity of Nigeria is very important to us. So we belong to the center. That's where our people have always been. We feel comfortable playing with the national politics.
The chairman, caretaker committee of the APC and governor of Yobe State, Mai Malabuni, is optimistic that the governing party will continue to get bolstered.
The entire APC family is very happy because our priority as a party is peace, unity, progress, and national development under the able leadership of our president and leader, President Muhammad Buhari. And we are rebuilding our party. Many more are joining, many more are coming.
We are quite excited that the vision of our party leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, the vision of the foundation fathers who brought APC together to be a party for all Nigerians is coming back strong.
It is not just one more governor joining us. This is one performing governor, one governor who has given an excellent account of himself in terms of bringing development to his state.
APC now controls 20 out of the 36 states of the Federation. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In the same vein, the Progressives Governors Forum has welcomed Chief David Umahi, Governor of Ebonyi State, to the All Progressives Congress, describing his action as a testament to APC's capacity to mobilize all Nigerians. In a statement, Chairman of the APC Governors Forum, Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State says the vision of the founding fathers of APC is to serve as a platform to unite all Nigerians under a progressive umbrella. With Governor Umahi now in APC, the vision is further reinforced and shall contribute to the process of membership and leadership recruitment at all levels, the statement adds. The Progressive Governors Forum has also commended the leader of the party, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the chairman Caretaker Committee, Governor Maimala Boni, and reaffirmed the commitment of the governors to support and build APC as a strong and democratic political party in the country. Now to financial matters. Following Wednesday's approval by the Federal Executive Council, the 2020 Finance Bill that seeks to provide more tax incentives for Nigerian businesses and individuals has been formally presented to state governors under the aegis of the National Economic Council at a meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Some highlights of the proposed finance bill, which is now headed to the National Assembly, include reduction in duties on tractors, motor vehicles for the transportation of goods and persons. These also include exemption of small companies from payment of education tax. Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, made the presentation at the virtual NEC meeting for the month of November 2020. A committee chaired by the Vice President for NEC to engage with youths and other critical stakeholders in addressing the deeper roots of the NSAS protests was formed at the last meeting of NEC. Members of the committee are governors drawn from the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Council at its meeting resolved that the planned zonal engagements should proceed with the focus on youths and civil society organizations, dealing especially with issues of jobs and employment. Similarly, the state-level interactions should proceed in places where this has not been reported. On current trend in food prices and the need for urgent remedial measures, Council received a presentation showing that the hike in prices is due to the delay in harvesting as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and SARS protests, which stalled food transportation and delivery, and banditry, as well as farmers-herders conflict. States and the federal government were urged to adopt urgent measures, including social protection schemes, to deal with the situation. The federal government is also to pursue the implementation of its Agric plan under the Economic Sustainability Plan and others to positively improve the situation in the sector. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And the Senate Committee on Appropriations has received 8 more 2021 budget reports from standing committees. It said cutting cost of governance will be more at point in considering the reports. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
It is the 3rd day of submission of 2021 budget defense reports to the Senate Committee on Appropriations. The Senate Committees on National Planning, Public Accounts, Federal Character and Police Affairs were in the first batch for the day. The committee chairman had something in common, and that is the request for increased allocation, especially to the overheads.
I'm urging on this committee to see how or to find ways or means of adding to the overhead of the police formations.
Chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriations, Senator Jibrin Barau, responded.
Any committee can bring its request, then it's left for us, based on the resources available, based on the understanding, based on the principle, based on the agenda of the National Assembly, which, of course, part of our agenda in the National Assembly is to cut costs of governance.
The Appropriations Committee reiterates its resolve to ensure that no fund meant for projects will remain dormant. At the moment, more than 20 standing committees have submitted their reports. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on NTA. Let's take our first break. More reports ahead, to stay with us.
in spite of a recession and a global pandemic.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multipurpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. The Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
Do you know that social media is not good or bad, and that it is you who is using it that is either good or bad? Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, verify the information, and reflect before sharing it. Now, are you a good social media user? Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source for a better Nigeria.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
The Counsel of Our Fathers.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
On the Premier League Live, showing on the NTA network from 1 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank and Babai Jebu.
Thanks for staying with us. In pursuance of its mandate to lift the most vulnerable in society out of poverty, the federal government has commenced disbursement of 20,000 naira conditional cash support to rural women in Ebonyi State. NECA Oko reports that the exercise was flagged off by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Haja Sadia Umar Farouk in Abakaliki.
2,600 rural women selected from across the 13 local government areas of the state are to benefit from the program. Mrs. Patience Anawo, a petty trader, is thankful to President Muhammadu Buhari for the cash support and is hopeful the intervention will go a long way to boost her business.
I go carry this money, I go put them on any business. I don't know that God is going to remember me today because I didn't expect such money in my hand. I promise that I will utilize the money.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Omar Farouk, while flagging off the program, said the conditional cash support is in addition to several other intervention programs of the federal government designed to assist the poor and vulnerable in the society, and advised the beneficiaries to use the grant judiciously.
Since the inception of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in 2015, government has paid more attention to protecting the plight of the poor and vulnerable groups in our country. And this informed the decision to initiate the National Social Investment Program in the country.
Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State, Dr. Kelechi Were, said supporting the women would translate to supporting the family. He pledged the continuous support of Ebonyi people to the programs and policies of the Buhari administration.
We are thankful to you for this excellent idea that came from your desk, that women need to be uplifted.
Is selected to 200 per local government area, and if you use your own very well, more will be given to you.
In their quest to attain self-sufficiency in rice production, the federal government, in collaboration with the Ogun State government, have adopted one of the best methods of irrigation farming known as sour eco-technology for rice farmers in the state. Lukman Adefesa reports that the Ogun State governor recently held a demonstration of the new planting method at a farm settlement in Shawonjo-Yewa North local government area of Ogun State.
Million tons of rice production for the year 2020. For the country to achieve its dream of self-sufficiency in rice production and also be an exporter of the staple food, one of the measures to adopt is to embrace modern methods of rice farming. The shower eco-technology rice farming method was adopted by the federal government from Japan because of its effectiveness at ensuring all year-round rice farming as well as improved yield. Speaking at a demonstration of the new rice planting method at Shawonjo Farm Settlement in Yewa North local government area of Ogun State, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Adeola Odedino, is optimistic that the shower eco-technology for rice farmers will not only promote all year-round farming, but also set the state on the path of becoming the biggest rice producer in the country.
So we're going to expand this demonstration to cover all the local government area.
Ademi Louis Shegon, the National Coordinator, Shower Eco-Technology for Rice Farming, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, coordinated the training of the selected young farmers in Ogun State.
As you harvested your rice, this field will be ready again for the race farming.
Some of the beneficiaries described the innovation as a paradigm shift from what they are used to.
And from farming to humanitarian gestures, more than 3,000 women in Ekiti State have benefited from the distribution of baby kits, a gesture of the Future Shot program of the wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, at the program held in collaboration with the wife of the Ekiti State Governor, Erilu BC Fayemi. Mrs. Buhari reiterated her commitment to continuously champion the cause of women and children in the country. Kola Adebabui reports.
Commitment to addressing the status of women, youth and children to reduce the rate of maternal, neonatal and child mortality. The Future Assured initiative of wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, observed the situation in the country with health conditions of women and children and advocacy towards improving their well-being. Special Advisor to the President on Special Duties, Office of the First Lady, Mrs. Rose Audu, said items distributed at various hospitals and primary health centers in Adogeti, which comprises hand sanitizers, liquid soaps, baby cream, women fabrics, blankets, among others, were aimed at complementing government's efforts in providing healthcare services to the citizenry.
She advocates for the welfare of women and children, and she does that through intervention in health, education, and empowerment.
The wife of the Ekiti State Governor, Erilu BC Fayemi, who commended the wife of the President for the kind gesture, reiterated her support to continually ensuring that women and children have access to quality healthcare in the state.
We are very grateful for her support because we know that she's very passionate about the well-being of women and children in Nigeria.
We see this thing as a privilege from Mrs. Buhari for the gift that brought for us in Ekiti State.
Highlights of the program was offsetting of indigent patients' medical bills in tune of 1 million naira in Ado Ekiti. Kola Adebabuyi, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide on NTA. Time now to join Adeola in the mega city, Lagos, for more reports. Hello, Adeola.
Good to see you. The 81 Division of the Nigerian Army brought together security experts in Lagos for an interactive session on how to address recurring security threats in the country. The event was a workshop which serves as a prelude to Operation Crocodile Smile 6, an exercise to tackle the issues of cybercrime. a workshop with the theme Cyber Attack as an Emerging Security Threat in Nigeria, the role of armed forces and security agencies, the GOC 81 Division says is apt, taking into cognizance the rising security challenges in the country. He reiterated that sustaining professionalism and responsiveness remains the driving concept with regards to operations and training, hence the need to harness the competences of other security agencies to ensure national security.
The workshop is one of such endeavors that are expected to ensure seamless civil military cooperation within the division area of operational responsibility.
Cyber warfare and internal security operations in Nigeria, as well as inter-agency collaboration in internal security, were some of the topics dissected. With the world increasingly becoming a global village through innovation, discussants called for the enlightenment of the public on the proper use of social media.
We have bad influencers, I will call them, who believe that they don't have anything doing than to stay on social media and be causing chaos. And what they want to do is to drive traffic. They want the clickbait. And once you have traffic, you have people following you, you make money. The government needs to spend money to educate the masses on what is fake news, what is hate speech.
The workshop, which is a precursor to Exercise Crocodile Smile 6, is designed to further strengthen the existing relationship among various security agencies operating within the jurisdiction of the 81 Division. In spite of the law prohibiting driving against traffic, also known as driving one way, some motorists, commercial motorcycle and tricycle operators in Lagos have continued with the practice. To arrest the situation, the Lagos state government has threatened to deal decisively with persons who violate this rule as well as other traffic laws. Nosa Osula reports.
Amid the enforcement of the Lagos State traffic law, which began on Tuesday, commercial motorcyclists have taken laws into their hands and attacked the task force team, injuring officers carrying out their lawful duties. The Lagos State Commissioner for Transportation urged all relevant security agencies to henceforth strictly enforce the provisions of the state traffic laws to bring about sanity on the roads.
It is therefore disheartening to note a lot of our people are still going against the extant law of the state on transportation operations and safe driving on our roads and in our communities.
The State Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosu, who was represented by a Superintendent of Police, Ozwani Damasos, assured government that the police will not relent in enforcing the state's traffic laws.
The Commissioner of Police has given directive, whoever that goes contrary to the rule, taking one way, as we call it, disobeying the laws of the land for their pecuniary gains, we are not going to accept it.
The Lagos State Sector Commander of the FRSC, Olusegun Ogungbemide, made it clear that traffic enforcement agencies will continue to assert their authority. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
A more comprehensive plan to address emergencies to reduce cases of casualties and loss of property has been emphasized by key players at a summit organized by the Emergency Crisis and Disaster Risk Management Institute. Amaka Owo reports that the Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, was conferred an honorary fellowship award at the event.
When disaster strikes, it is often said that time to prepare has passed. Get prepared. Emergencies can happen anytime. The theme of this gathering aims to reawaken and enhance emergency preparedness. It seeks to sensitize Nigerians on how to acquire skills to help save lives.
A nation that fails to prepare for unexpected will not have the capacity to respond swiftly within the time record.
Nigeria needs to be really prepared for the unconventional warfare.
Keynote speaker, a professor of crisis and disaster management from University of Bournemouth, United Kingdom, Professor Lima has presented solutions to handling emergencies in a complex multi-hazardous environment. The Executive Director, Administration and Training, Nigerian Television Authority, Steve Ebo, who represented the Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, urged the media to set the agenda for tackling crisis.
We must begin to think strategically, to think for tomorrow, for the generations unborn, so that the problems we can solve today need not wait for them to come and solve it.
Special recognition was given to the Director General of the NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, who bagged an honorary fellowship award for his outstanding contributions to the institute. The award was received by Steve Ebu, the Executive Director, Administration and Training, who was also honored a fellow alongside other individuals and organizations. The second annual Emergency Preparedness Summit had NEMA enlighten attendees on rescue operations during accident situations. In Lagos, Amaka Owu, NTA News.
And that's it from here. Lizzie is back to you for more on Nationwide.
Thank you so much, Adiola. President Muhammad Buhari has warmly sends his regards to appointed chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Noor Ribadu, on his 60th birthday. In a statement, President Buhari joins the family and friends to celebrate the milestone marked with years of diligence and service to the nation. He said Noor Ribadu also served as chairman of Petroleum Revenue Task Force and commended his sacrifices and dedication to the country, particularly in pursuing probity, advocating good governance and promoting economic and democratic values. President Buhari believes his determination to see Nigeria reach greater heights through counseling and mentoring of young leaders deserves commendation, while urging him to remain steadfast on a disciplined and focused life. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations wants an increased funding to ensure healthy conditions of the nation's roads, which also helps in the reduction of road crashes, especially during the Yuletide. Ikechukwu Undukwe reports.
Is statutorily obliged to maintain 136 kilometers of roads across the nation, a feat that has not been easily achieved since the return of democracy in Nigeria. More worrisome, NIPR says, is the Lokoja-Itobe-Ayemba Expressway, which has been unmotorable for decades. For the FEMA, massive recovery of lost portions of federal roads is a battle that has brought the organization and the public in conflict due to paucity of funds.
If you construct a road, standard roads in Nigeria that are of asphaltic pavement, they are supposed to last 15 to 20 years with normal use, with optimal maintenance. Once they reach 15 to 20 years, they are due for what we call reconstruction. If you don't reconstruct them at 15, 20 years, and they are 30 years old, 40 years old, what happens is that you repair today, and 3 months they go bad again.
So we came here to congratulate them, identify with them, encourage them, and appeal to those that matter to consider increase in the budgetary allocation for farmers so that they can continue to more efficiently discharge their mandates.
The appeal is coming on the heels of observed improvement of roads recovery across the country and the need to do more. In Abuja, Ikechukwu Undukwe.
And Amina in Kaduna has a situation report on Kaduna-Abuja highway. Let's hear from her. Amina.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Welcome to Kaduna. Travelers along Abuja-Kaduna highway will now commute without fears as security has been fortified at strategic locations. This follows an assessment of the security situation within the axis after recent kidnap incident along the highway. Haruna Mohammed reports.
Samuel Arwan, the Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, accompanied by troops and police operatives responsible for thwarting all forms of threats to security of travelers on the highway.
Well, we are here to see for ourselves
And as you can see, motorists are plying the road, contrary to the information that motorists or travelers have abandoned the road. You've seen motorists traveling in and out of the two sides of the road.
They came with new strategies, which includes a permanent security post located within notorious places along the highway.
And I want to assure Nigerians, especially those that are plying this road, that the military, the police, and Kaduna State government are working assiduously. We have calibrated, as you can see, and we will see more.
Critical to the sustenance of sanity along the highway are inhabitants of communities by the highway, and the commissioner gave them a listening ear while urging them to cooperate with security operatives towards ending the menace of banditry and kidnapping on the highway. I am Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Senate Committee on Army has called for the overhaul of Army training institutions across the country to meet contemporary security challenges confronting the country. Chairman of the committee, Senator Ali Ndumi, made the call when he led the committee members on oversight to Army formations in Zaria. Sagir Mohammed Awal reports.
Depot Nigerian Army, Zaria, was the first point of call by the Senate Committee on Army. The school plays a critical role in producing soldiers for the manpower needs of the Nigerian Army. After inspecting the facilities at the school, the committee chairman, Senator Muhammad Ali Ndumi, expressed the need for the government to increase support to the school, considering the giant stride it is recording towards molding Nigerian Army personnel.
There are certain things actually again that they need here critically, especially with this large area that they are going to even increase the recruits. There is no auditorium, the classrooms are not enough, the staff quarters is in a bad situation and the numbers is not good. So it's one of the reasons why we are here, to see for ourselves.
At the Nigerian Military School, the committee engaged the Commandant, Brigadier General Brinze Haruna Muhammad, on the areas that require urgent intervention to enable it to function optimally. In Zaria, I'm Sagir Muhammad Awal, NTA News.
And that's it from Kaduna. It's back to Elizabeth in Abuja.
Thank you, Amina. Now, a bit of security. The Directorate of Defense Media Operations, DMO, says the air component of Operation Hadarin Daji has neutralized 17 armed bandits and destroyed their camp in the Duyen Forest area of Katsina State. DMO Coordinator Major General John Enenche says this was achieved through airstrikes executed on the 10th of November 2020 following credible human intelligence reports and confirmatory surveillance missions indicating that dozens of Ansar terrorist group-linked armed bandits had established a camp at a location which also housed scores of rustled cattle. Nigerian Air Force fighter platforms engaged the location, destroying portions of the camp, including their storage facility, which was seen engulfed in flames. Human intelligence sources later confirmed that no fewer than 17 bandits were neutralized and several others injured. The military high command commends this gallantry and the support of their security agencies and their citizenry. Meanwhile, 53 million naira worth of contraband goods, including foreign rice and petroleum products, have been seized by the Nigerian Customs Service Kwara State Command. This was disclosed by the Coordinator Joint Border Operations Drill, Sector 3, Oluwega Peters, at a press briefing in Ilorin, Kwara State. Aisha Abubakar Yaya reports.
The border closure code names Exercise Swift Response, which is being led by the Nigerian Customs Service, comprises of men of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, Department of State Security Services, and National Intelligence, and is being coordinated by the Office of the National Security Advisor. The team is to curtail smuggling of goods in and out of the country and has been on the lookout since the border closure to ensure sanity across the border. The Joint Border Operations Drill Sector 3, comprising of Kogi, Benue, Niger and Kwara states, has therefore been on its toes to ensure contraband goods are not brought into the states. Intercepted at Babanla, Chikanda and Okuta borders are 1,643 bags of foreign parboiled rice, 373 25-litre jerrycans of premium motor spirits, otherwise known as petrol, 30 used vehicles and 4 bales of second-hand clothing. A trailer was also intercepted at Kutangura carrying foodstuffs and ammunition.
We shall continue to wage war against smugglers, as every trick used by smugglers will be uncovered due to a high level of intelligence, systematic monitoring, and mechanism put in place to track down these economic saboteurs.
With the intensified efforts of the Joint Border Operations Drill to seize more contraband goods across the border, Nigerian Customs is hopeful that this present administration's intention to continue to promote made-in-Nigerian goods will be realized soonest. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
Let's now head to Port Harcourt, where our very own Jenny is standing by with some reports for us. Hello, Jenny.
Elizabeth, good evening and welcome to Port Harcourt. In its efforts to check the high rate of road crashes and other hazards on the road associated with the Ember months, the Federal Road Safety Corps Rivers State Command has flagged off the 2020 Ember Months Awareness Campaign in Port Harcourt. Diba Barisedoma Weke reports.
The aim of the campaign is to ensure that Nigerians adhere protocols in order to get to their destinations safe through the Ember months. Zonal Commanding Officer Zone 6 FRSC Headquarters Port Harcourt represented and Sector Commander River State Corps Commander FRSC Salisu Umar Galadunchi said the exercise is meant to reduce road crashes to the barest minimum in the state.
We want to let the military public know that we are not just out there to penalize them. We are out there to ensure their safety.
There is nothing superstitious about Ember Month. There is nothing mystical. It's just our belief. Once we can obey the traffic rules and regulations, once we know that the bad portion of the road is bad, you drive carefully and go in, everybody to get to where they want to go safely and soundly.
Representative of the Governor and Commissioner for Works, Osima Jina, emphasized the need for synergy between FRSC and the government.
With the command to ensure that our roads are safe, our people are safe.
Stakeholders called for absolute focus when driving on the road.
They need to check whether the tires are okay, the brakes are working very well.
There was a demonstration of the use of technology in the rescue of accident victims. In Port Harcourt, Dibba Barisid Maweke, NTA News.
In a bid to engender confidence between the military and citizens in Bayelsa State, the Commander 16th Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Ephraim Essien, says the Army will strive to discharge its constitutional duties to promote sustainable peace and unity. Brigadier Essien made this pledge at the flag-off of Operation Crocodile Smile 6 at Army Super Camp in Ogbia local government area. Fred Owife reports.
The flagging off of Operation Crocodile Smile 6 is targeted at flushing out criminals on land and the maritime domain in Bayelsa State. The state governor, Senator Doye Diru, represented by his deputy, Senator Lawrence Erujakpo, who flagged off the exercise, employed officers and men of the Nigerian Army to be humane in the discharge of their official responsibilities.
There is no doubt most of our servicemen paid the supreme price for us to have a secured country and a secured society.
In their separate remarks, Major General Johnson Irefun and Brigadier General Ephraim Essien disclosed that the exercise, which is ongoing across the country, is targeted at combating kidnapping, sea piracy, illegal bunkering activities, and other vices.
That the exercise will be conducted professionally and in line with the standard rules of engagement and code of conduct for internal security operations.
The exercise will also involve civil-military cooperation activities in terms of sensitization program, quick impact projects, and medical outreach to selected communities in order to assist the less privileged.
highlights of the flag-off was river drill at the Ogbea Jetty to enhance gallantry and professionalism by officers. Fred Weifie, NTA News.
And Nationwide will continue with Elizabeth after the break.
Dialogue, empathy, love and unity. These are vital components of nation building.
For all to be well, we appeal that we should refrain from volatile, provocative, inciting messages and language.
Let's build and not destroy.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android, Intelsat 901 degree east. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
My name is Nando Jamda
Muhammad
Stedita
Hussein Musa Roduna Joel Finji Said Musa John.
I'm a carpenter. I've been doing this for more than 8 years now.
Ina sai da plantain na kai kimamin shekara 3.
I've been selling my tomatoes for about 10 years now, and I do it for a better Nigeria.
And I do it for a better Nigeria.
Ina wannan sana'ar lemu ne domin Najeriya ta ci gaba. Ina sa domin Najeriya ta kyau. And you can see how we are doing our small little work to make Nigeria great.
As you can see, I'm a technician and I'm doing it to help myself and to help my generation.
Ina zaune ne a Plateau na business. Kuma ina yin wannan domin ci gaban ƙasar Najeriya.
For a better Nigeria. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Live showing on the NTA network from 1 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank and Babai Jebu.
Thanks for staying. The Law Student Association of Nigeria has filed a suit against ASU, challenging the perennial strike often embarked by ASU, which has paralyzed the country's educational system. The suit was filed on Friday at the Federal High Court. The association is seeking an order to compel ASU to return to classroom and another of perpetual injunction to restrain ASU from further strike. The president of the association, Blessing Agbume, is also asking the court to compel ASU to pay 10 billion naira compensation to Nigerian students for infringing on their rights to education as guaranteed by Section 18 of the 1999 Constitution and Article 17 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights.
Same lecturer will be lecturing in yourself, Calabar. The same lecturer will be a consultant in another oil company. And as a result of that, they want to be paying themselves. They want the schools to be paying them and not federal government to be paying them. Because if federal government is paying them, federal government will discover that they are lecturing in different universities.
The association is further asking the court to order ASU to pay damages to all Nigerian students for the psychological and emotional torture meted out on them, as well as the loss of valuable time following the continuous strike. Judiciary correspondent Vera Chumba reports that ASU has been on strike since the 2nd of March 2020. Any investment in the future of the Nigeria you want to see will only imply investing in the children today. This is the message for the 2020 Universal Day of the Child, which was commemorated by the Ministry of Women Affairs at a public school in Garki, Abuja. Momsodem Dati captured the highlights.
Welcome to Government Science Secondary School, Garki, Abuja, where 15-year-old Halirum Abdullahi is the head boy. He recounts his challenges while trying to get education in the village.
My dad couldn't afford education, so I have to live with an uncle. Educational system in the village actually wasn't that good. Now, in the village, you'll be flogged. In the village, you don't have the means of transportation, and in the village, there are not enough textbooks. When we talk of rights, every student have the rights. Every student are entitled to good textbooks to read.
It is for such a reason, and many others similar, that the United Nations General Assembly adopted this day to initiate actions that would benefit and promote the welfare of children the world over.
To get the best out of them, to become our future leaders. So we have to do everything. Whatever we are doing without investing on our children, we are achieving nothing and will not achieve anything. So we are here celebrating it, telling these children their rights and trying to make sure that their rights are respected.
In love with the theme for this year, that's investing in our future means investing in the children. Our parents invested in us, so that when they grow old, we should be able to take care of them. If we also invest in our children, when we are old, they'll take care of us.
With this knowledge and exposure, Haliru now knows better and can even speak for other children.
When you are sad, you are not able to learn, and in the end, it produces bad results. No parent wishes for bad results, but the leaders to say we are the leaders of tomorrow. Everything starts from now, and for us to be able to learn very well, for us to be able to academically sound, to be good, our rights must be obeyed.
This year marks the 31st anniversary of the Convention of the Rights of the Child and 17 years of its passage in Nigeria. Momsodem Dati, NTA News.
Considering the impact of COVID-19 on the economy, Nigerian entrepreneurs are beginning to intensify efforts towards the promotion and utilization of local materials for export. This was the focal point of an empowerment program for the vulnerable in society. COVID-19 taking its toll on global economies, governments and individuals in Nigeria are beginning to diversify to cash in on the potential of the non-oil sector. Some are also using this period of economic downturn to empower the vulnerable in society by building their entrepreneurial skills.
They can actually produce here with their materials. We are providing that succor. We are coming in as a bridge between getting a skill and getting your needed equipment.
Some of the trainees who have been empowered are optimistic that adequate support from the government will assist in reinvigorating the nation's economy.
People we trained on that Facebook group, can you see Facebook group for that matter? We empowered them. Some of them I didn't know them before. I just called them on Facebook and they came to this place, they learned embellishments.
Before I wasn't able to feed myself. Like I go out in the streets so many times. And sometimes like sun is shining now. It will be on me from morning till night. Sometimes I don't even see what I went for. But since after this empowerment in this training of shoemaking, like today I can feed myself.
Sustaining skills acquisition, they believe, will go a long way to raise more persons out of poverty and build a vibrant economy. President Muhammad Buhari says he is saddened to learn of the passing of the first professor of veterinary medicine in northern Nigeria and a former chairman of Bida local government in Niger State, Professor Shehu Bida. In a statement, the president extends heartfelt condolences to the family of Bida, the government and people of Niger State, the Etsunupe and academic community on the death of one of Niger's leading scholars in the field of sciences. President Buhari believes that Professor Bida's pioneering role in sparking the interest of many Nigerians in the field of veterinary medicine, impactful research publications, and tenacity for knowledge sharing helped in grooming many quality experts in the field at home and abroad. He prays Almighty Allah to provide the shortcomings of the deceased and grant his family and friends the fortitude to bear the loss. And that's Nationwide today. Thank you so much for your time. Don't forget, the easiest way to becoming a star is to connect with the NTA, stand against rape and rapists. Good evening.